Market update here in a second. So I think that there are a few different passes that can go. I'll go over a few different patterns that are possible. The first one is we have more upside. But that is going to rely on this being an extended fifth wave. So if we count this 1, 2, 3, 4, like I've shown in previous videos, 5 would be way up here. I drew a parallel line from the top of this right here, top of this. This would be kind of like an expanded triangle, basically. And you can see that if we use our parallel lines like I showed in the last video, we got so we come outside here, we get outside of that for the fourth wave, and then we get this move higher, straight from there all the way up to 417, and today we tank. So if we're looking at this move on lower time frames, it looks to me like it's impulsive down, and it actually looks like it might go down tomorrow morning. Let's see on lower time frames. This could be a fourth wave right here. It's kind of hard to tell. So basically, there's two different patterns that could play out. We're either going to get a first wave, second wave, third wave, fourth wave, fifth wave up here to the top of the triangle, and that would be the very top. But that would be close to August highs. If that were to happen, I would be looking at this as just a B wave. Basically, A, B, C, D, and I'd be looking for an E wave down here. And then that would be the overall B wave. And then we would go higher from there. So that would be a pretty good short opportunity, but it would be another like 5% higher actually. So that's probably if Powell says something positive tomorrow, that will probably happen. So that's the first possibility. Second possibility is we topped out there. Why that makes sense is because we've hit this daily supply multiple times in many different places, and we can never get through it. The top of this is at 421.56. And like I said, this does look like it could go down more. And so this would just be the end of the fifth wave right here. We can get rid of these. And if this is the case, then I'm probably looking for a fourth wave. So 1, 2, 3, but honestly, it could be a ABC move as well, in which we'd come down here to the bottom potentially. That might be too far, but I'm kind of looking at it now as A, B, C like that. But I mean, short term, we don't have to worry about that. That'd probably be a few months out. And so again, the first level I'd be looking at is a 4-hour demand here. Starts at 406.46. Again, you can see it was tapped a few times here. And I would be looking for this move to probably finish in that area. Because it looked like it'd be a 5-wave move. And so we probably get some kind of finish around this area, maybe down here into this demand zone at 404, 405. And then probably bounce out of it and then have another move down. So short term, two different paths. It all depends on what Powell says tomorrow, obviously. But I think I'm leaning towards the downside at this point. I think the market's ready to sell off, and this completed a 5-wave move. And again, the only thing that can make it go extend is if this is a second wave and we get a 5-wave move, fifth wave. So that's this demand zone and the supply zone are pretty important because We've hit it a few times, and we've hit this demand a few times as well. If it breaks below 401, we're looking down here at 395. QQQ. So I think this is another completion of a 5-wave move. Went over it again. We have daily supply up here. And then I think that this actually could be some kind of B wave here. It's not entirely clear, but this could be something like a expanded flat up here. And we started an A wave down here. And it makes sense for where I think QQQ wants to go. I think it needs to come down here to this supply zone at 295. And the 1.61 fib, let's say this is the A wave right here, and we get A, B, C expanded flat. The 1.61 fib is sitting right around 305.59. That is not necessarily in a demand zone. I guess on the 4-hour time frame, I think it is. Yeah, so we got this move right here. It's kind of a smaller demand zone. I don't know if you can consider it really a very good demand zone, but I'll be looking for somewhere around there. And then probably bounce back up here and then come down here to 295. There is one down here though at 313. So that might be a short-term spot for tomorrow as well if FOMC doesn't go good. Is there any upside potential on this? Yeah, the same thing really as SPY. It could end up being something like this. But if this happens, it's probably going to go, let's see, this was 305, this is 321. It's probably going to go somewhere up here around 338, 335, 340. So that is possible as well. We just got to see how FOMC plays out. But I'm leaning towards the downside on both of them because both of them are in daily supply, and that makes a big difference. The top here is at 327.37. Microsoft, again, I consider this the 5th wave. I went through it again and got to stick with this being a 5th wave. The reason why is parallel lines. We got 1, 2. And we got 3 breaking on the outside of it, 4, and then we get 1, 2, clearly a 3rd wave, pullback 4th wave, working on 5th wave. And I think that this is likely 1, 2. This could be the same thing actually as QQQ. Looking at it on this time frame, this could end up being 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like that. So I don't know. Microsoft actually looks like it might have more upside because of the way this looks. I mean, this looks like a 5-wave move to me. This looks like a pullback for a 2nd wave. And then we get the earnings huge move higher. Breaks outside the parallel line. So, I mean, Microsoft is showing more upside. So that might mean QQQ might go up higher too. So you got to watch out for that. We might be bullish tomorrow just based on this chart. So, again, the daily supply is there, but this pattern could play out where we get something like that. It's going to break the bear's back if that happens. So that's what I see on Microsoft. This could be a 4th wave that's been going on the last day or two, and 5th wave could be coming higher here shortly. And again, let's see what the target would be on that. Probably be somewhere around 320 to 324. I'm pretty sure I saw a gap up here somewhere. Let me see. Yeah, this is a very, very small gap, but there is a gap here. 322.30. You can see it, barely. That's a gap though. 322.30. So then we can zoom out here and look at, this now and see. So 322.30, and then you have a supply zone right here. So if it's able to get through this weekly supply, then my target is probably up here, 327 to 332. Actually, no, let's go to the bottom of this because that fills the gap. So it's probably not, it might not go that high. So anywhere between 322 to 332. If this ends up being a fifth wave going higher. And on this time frame, it kind of looks, yeah, it looks to me like a third wave, fourth wave, fifth wave higher. 322.30 is the gap fill. So after looking at these more in depth, we might be going higher. So that would be a very extended fifth wave, but whatever. Tesla. So Tesla, I talked about in one of the videos recently, trying to get outside this parallel line. It did get outside this parallel line for a fourth wave. Let's zoom in here. I didn't follow it that much today. It wasn't moving that much. I still think it looks pretty bearish to me overall. And I still think that we need to come down here and fill this gap. So this is kind of contrary to what Microsoft is looking like. So I'm still sticking with the move down here to 146 before it can start moving higher. It hasn't came down here and hit a significant demand zone, and that's the next significant demand zone at 146.54 and a gap fill. So not really that much to review on that one. You can see it on higher time frames too. So A, B, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, Amazon, I was looking at this one and it actually, I didn't notice this before, but it actually hit the 1.61 fib. So this looks like a 5-wave move to me. And this hit it pretty much exactly. So that's a WXY move, WXY. But this was also a WXY move, from what I can tell. Let me double check and make sure that's not a 5-wave move. Yeah, it's WXY as well. So, yeah, it's like A, B, C right here, W, X, and then a 5-wave move for Y. So that means that we're looking at this as A, B, could be C down here, or this could be A right here, pull back B, and then C wave higher, like that. But that wouldn't make that much sense because this looks like a 5-wave move. So there's a chance that we'll have to just see what this does tomorrow. I think this looks pretty impulsive right here. But there's a lot of different moves that could happen with this being in a WXY correction. It did hit this demand today and then back off or bounce. So it needs to hold 101. If it breaks through that, there's another demand zone down here at 94. And I wouldn't be surprised if it came down to 94. On the upside, we just got 112 as the supply zone. Didn't get there last time. Let's go over Meta. So Meta has just been sitting here for I don't know how many days now. Kind of crazy. But let's just go over this on lower time frames. One, two. I mean, Meta's pretty much topped out in my opinion. 1, 2, big third wave here. Although it could be in a fourth wave right here. So we got 1, 2, 3, A, B, C, 4. Maybe similar to Microsoft. Something like that is possible. So from all these charts I've been looking at, I'm seeing, let's see what the 1.61 fib of this W wave is. 265. Wouldn't that be something if Meta just finished out the move from here? Let me see if it's even possible. Let's see. Very possible that it actually just goes to like 255. If that's a third wave, that's got to be a third wave. That's the only way it's that explosive. So yeah, Meta might be going up a little bit higher as well. From what I see on all these tech stocks, there's probably going to be another big move. And then of course Apple, I'm not even looking at the waves on this one. I'm actually in this stock right now. They have earnings on Thursday. We have Fed tomorrow. From the very beginning, month, 2 months ago, I've been saying this is going to 177. And you can see here, you can just simply use parallel lines here and then clone it, put it at the bottom here. 177 is where it's going. I can go on smaller time frames and look at the waves, but it's kind of pointless. It's very choppy. I just think it's going to go to 177. So again, another tech stock showing more upside. NVIDIA, I haven't looked at this one in a while. Let's just take a look. NVIDIA is likely, it broke through that weekly supply zone that I was been talking about. And I had this originally as a fourth wave, but it still might be a fourth wave actually. Let's see. Three, 4. It's probably already hit the price target with the fibs, but it doesn't really matter. It just keeps on going higher. So we have, after the fourth wave, we have 1, 2, 3, 4. I wouldn't be surprised if it goes to like 300 at this point. The bottom here, 258, but this is like $30. The third wave was like $60. So even if it goes $30, that's $291. It basically hit that actually yesterday. So again, probably going to go a little bit higher. Let's look at Bitcoin, and I'm going to call it quits. Bitcoin still chopping around, waiting for direction. Could be in a fourth wave as well. We got 1, 2, 3, 4. It could come up here to 37 while the tech stocks top out. Very possible. Or if the meeting doesn't go well tomorrow, could sell off back down here to 21, 25. So looking at all the tech stocks, at first in the video I was talking about I'm probably bearish, but now looking at the tech stocks, I wouldn't be surprised if we get one more blowout of the bears tomorrow, and that finishes like in the next like couple of weeks, and then we finally get a correction. So be aware of that going into the Fed meeting. We'll see what happens, but that's all for now. If you like this video, make sure you hit the thumbs up and subscribe for more updates, usually after the market closes. And good luck tomorrow.